He's saying allegations of vote tampering were also made just hours after polls opened in Lichtenburg in the northwest. Our reporter Pule Letshwiti-Jones spent the day there, and he joins us now. Pule, let's talk about these allegations. Can you just take us back a little bit and tell us exactly what transpired?
Well, a very good evening. What we understand right now is that there were allegations of ballot boxes being tampered with, and opposition parties, of course, raised concerns around this, and independent candidates. This very same voting station at the Temba Mpempe, Ward 3 in Lichtenburg, Mahikeng, was delayed in terms of opening. They were two hours late, and do understand that the presiding officer, who was actually paying oversight to the whole process here yesterday during the special votes, was suspended. But I'm just going to ask you, my colleague Tammy, just to go in and show you a pretty a good picture of what's going on right now. Voters are still here waiting patiently to cast their mark and ensuring that they vote for what's correct. The queues were a bit longer earlier on in the day today. Quite surprisingly, they've actually been trimmed, but they're patiently waiting in the dark. It's a bit chilly, and the weather was accommodating earlier on, but we do understand right now that, you know, these voters are waiting patiently to vote. But most importantly, again, we witnessed something that the gates didn't immediately close at 9 o'clock as per deadline. They were 10 minutes late, with some voters having came in late, saying that the deadline was supposed to be extended because there was a bit of a delay in terms of opening at this voting site. And those are some of the concerns that have been raised also by opposition parties in that regard.
I was just talking to Barry now, and there seems to be a lot of issues in throughout the country with this new system, the VMG, the electronic voting system at all. Have you any issues with that system at all where you are?
Well, quite, the transitions here were very smooth. There hasn't been, any sort of problems with that, apart from the external challenges that were encountered here in terms of intimidation of voters and, of course, as mentioned, the tampering of ballot boxes. But we do understand that the Deputy Minister of Cocta did come here earlier on, Obed Papela, to ensure that there was proper processes that were put in place, mentioning that they cannot tolerate such incidences where voters are being intimidated and where there are allegations of ballot papers being tampered with, and saying, and rather confirming, that the matter was subject to investigation and that some of those boxes will be quarantined to ensure that these elections are carried out freely and fairly. But most importantly, residents here being quite concerned about the time frames, but they've endured through the whole night and the whole day, patiently so, ensuring that they cast their votes and vote for the correct party. This is one area that has been challenged by service delivery and, of course, amongst others, where we've seen protests taking place, and voters are here to ensure that their voice can be heard through these voting processes here.
Okay, Pule, thank you so much for chatting with us. Pule Letshwiti-Jones in Lichtenburg in the northwest. There you can see the queue still, it says about 500 odd people are still in that queue and looking forward to casting their vote tonight.